Senior Report thanks Edmund Besch of Bristol Burgess Insurance Agency, 65 East Main Street, Westfield, for his generous grant to provide news to seniors. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Funding is provided by a grant from Absolute Care of Westfield, committed to returning the favor to those who spent a lifetime caring for others. Absolute Care is located at 26 Cass Street in Westfield. Dave Cass and Rick Newell provide funding on behalf of the Lakeview Hotel and Restaurant at the Docks, located on Water Street near the lake in Mayville. From the Access Channel 5 television studio in Mayville, it's Senior Report with Reed Powers. Senior Report is broadcast live throughout northern Chautauqua County on Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. each week. Call in and share a thought, make a comment, ask a question, or simply wish someone a happy birthday on Chautauqua County's only live call-in senior program. Since 1995, Reed has been bringing viewers hundreds of interesting guests, informing the community on a variety of subjects. Here's the host of the show, Reed Powers.
And good morning, good morning. What a beautiful day in Chautauqua County. A little foggy coming over the hill, but you can just slow down and everything's okay. We have a great program coming up today. We have Marianne Spanos coming on, who is the director of the Office for the Aging for Chautauqua County. And she has some newsworthy items to discuss with us. We also have a lot of other things going on, just like all over the world here. Chautauqua County, boy, one of the things I love is the daffodils, but I went picking daffodils twice. The first time I fell down on my face, I still have scratches. The second time I fell down on my, my butt and arm, and I have a great big bandage on my arm. God, that looks awful, doesn't it? Oh well, it was worth it. The daffodils are great, excepting my wife, who has a bit of the AZ, if you know what I mean. And when I'm taking a nap or at night, gets up and takes them out of the water and puts them in another glass without water, so they only last a couple days. But everything works out in the long run, and they are good for a couple of days. Let's hope that we have a wonderful time out there in this beautiful week coming up. It's just absolutely fun and beautiful out, and you notice the daffodils are blooming everywhere. They're just gorgeous little blobs of sunlight. I love them, and of course forsythia bushes are just incredible. They're giant balls of sunlight. They're as big as the sun, some of them. So at any rate, have a great time, pick a few flowers, and just wander around in the woods and get to know nature a little bit better. We have a lot of news happening around us. The television is so awful. I can't really pay attention to it. Basically, fortunately, the large corporations that own it don't show us what's really going on. So we get a kind of a brainwashing. You try to find out what's going on in Afghanistan, other than they've restricted everybody to their base now because of the craziness going on, burning of the Koran and the peeing on the soldiers and. God, what goes on over there? It's unbelievable. And of course, this guy that went wild and shot 17 members of a peaceful tribe, just walked in their homes and started blowing them away. And of course, they whisked him back to the United States. And he's mad as just crazy as a mouse. Hey, you know what mouse I'm talking about. He's been charged with murder, of course, and. The Afghanistans have restricted everybody to their base, and they refuse to let the Americans go to the scene where he shot all these people. So it's going to be tough to prosecute because they have no idea what he did. It's madness over there. We've been there for the longest war we've ever had, and why are we still there? That's what I want to know. What's the matter with our congressman? Well, we'll have a new one coming up shortly, Mr. Reed. I'm sure he's a distant relative. Maybe he'll show up on the program. We've had very little success in getting our current congressman on this program. Certain people duck for cover, and I think he's one of them. And speaking of which, where's Greg? We haven't had him on for over a year. All right, here we go, guys. The state has finally passed a budget, still within the legal limits. It's the second time they've done that. And I must say Andy has been very active, and so has Kathy Young, Andy Goodell, in our assembly. And they have contributed to the passage of more school funding anyway. Remember last year they cut school funding to the quick. Now they've put more back in. I think we're back up maybe to where we were a couple years ago, who knows. But that's the way the game goes in Albany. Chautauqua County is in an interesting situation. We are currently the highest tax-paying county. We have the highest taxes in the United States in Chautauqua County. And they pulled a little trick. Even our county exec said this was Edwards pointed out, this is a phony budget. They took a lot of the funding for last year and pushed it forward to this year. In other words, they paid the bills last year with borrowed money, and they're going to hit us, we're going to have to pay it back this year, on top of this year's budget. So we got 2 years worth of budget going here, almost. And where are we going to get the money? There's only one place. Yeah, local taxes, real estate taxes. We're going to have taxes that are going to curl your hair next year, or this coming year, in this budget. Well, they're fussing around, examining and checking and having committees and so forth. Nothing's happening. They're just going to have to slam us with incredible taxes, which will make us probably the highest taxed county on the planet at this rate. I don't know how people live in Chautauqua County. Well, the seniors don't. You notice more and more of them are having to sell their homes. And they're, before long, you're all going to be living in your children's basements, and you're going to be eating this stuff. You know what that is? That's what they ate. Seniors ate during the Great Depression. Cat food. Yeah, that's what it's coming to, folks. Thanks to the Congress, who's slashing the senior funding, they're not giving us a COLA. We had a guaranteed cost of living adjustment that would keep our income up. Because of their fake figures, the so-called core inflation, which they adjust to make sure there's no inflation showing, they've actually, in the last 10 years, reduced our dollar to 40 cents. That's what you're getting today from what you got for that dollar, a real dollar, 10 years ago. And it's getting worse. Furthermore, they're cutting the heck out of your Medicaid, Medicare. Seniors, you're going to either die of starvation or lack of medical care. And I guess that's the whole game plan in Congress. We don't need seniors. They cost too much money. Yeah? Well, a guy in Oregon, I think it was Oregon or Montana or somewhere, one of the governors said that. To that, he said seniors had one duty, and that was to die. They killed him at the election polls. He was bounced out the following election with good reason. All right, guys, at any rate, hang in there. Maybe things will change. Your kids will redo their cellar, and maybe I'm writing a recipe book for cat food. This is the, I think this is the, these are the tender slices, the beef slices. They're very good if you rinse them off. First of all, you have to rinse them, and then you have to put real gravy on them, and they're not bad. It's 35 cents for a nice big meal, for two of you. Well, that and a little bit of stale bread, you'll be able to survive that day, and that's the way it's getting to be. All right, friends. I've got some senior news here, very little, because we have a big program today. I wanted to just mention, we are in Mayville, and Mayville contributes to the costs of Access 5. Make sure that you get the senior news. And I want to thank our other sponsors who really help out, and it's just wonderful that we have people who care. Now, Mayville has not a large group here. Joyce Ayers is the president of the Mayville Club, and if you want to get involved with her, call her up. She's in the phone book. And we have some great trips. I wanted to mention a couple of them that are coming up. Gene Kelsey does the trips. Incidentally, Mr. Kelsey himself, Chuck, her other side, I won't say better half, I'll just say other side, does a nice job here for Access 5. He's the one who founded it. And he and Devin Taylor, who has been with us ever since we started, built the most gorgeous studio you've ever seen. It's the biggest and most modern studio in New York State of access television. It's fantastic. And congratulations. At any rate, Gene Kelsey, his mother, not his better half, his mother, reports that there is readiness for a trip to Lancaster, PA to see Jonah on the end of March. It's over. Oh, okay. Thanks for the trip. Anyway, they have one to August 20 to 24th. It's a 3-4 day trip to Pigeon Forge and Dollywood. Hey, they have fantastic. Seniors have fantastic trips, and they cost peanuts. They're just at cost. If you want to get involved, incidentally, they always have. They always invite other people to come along on the trip who are not necessarily seniors of that group. Now, like Mayville, you can be a senior anywhere in the county and join, because more and more we're crossing county lines. If you're a Fredonia senior, you can join the Dunkirk Club and so forth and so on. But if you want to get involved, call Kelsey at 753-2663, Gene Kelsey, 2663. And they'll give you information, and there's always a seat or two left over. And they'll take seniors from their place first, and then they'll take seniors from the county anywhere, any other club for second, and then they'll take any senior in the world for third, and then they'll take juniors. They'll take kids along. The important thing is to fill that big bus. Lots of more news. They tell me I have no more time for news. Sorry about that, guys. We'll get it next week. And we have with us a couple of people who are going to do some information, give us some information. One of them is Doc, who you're familiar with. That's John Hamels. And the other one is with Karen Harvey, who wrote a letter to the editor, and she wants to talk about it a little bit. So anybody who wants to be on the program for an important item or something they think, as with Karen, we will offer you 3 to 4 minutes, 5 minutes at the maximum, at the beginning of the program to give your insight. And we have with us after that Mary Ann Spanos, who is the top gun over at the Office for the Aging in her little. I think they tell me they put a trailer down by the park now. They're cutting everything in there. John, you're on. Hello, Doc.
Good morning, Reed. I was concerned this morning that when I came in, I was going to have my clothespin because I could smell the leaks out in the woods. But guys, we're safe for another week. Anyways, my eyes aren't watering. Anyways, Reed, today I'm going to share my time here, my editorial time with Karen Harvey. This is a topic that we've been covering for, at least 6 or 7 months now on the county home. Basically, what I want to do is just kind of introduce the topic and where I'm seeing things right now. Recently, Joe and I, we played Irish music, as you know, and we go out to the county home every 3 months or so, and gosh, we just had a great time. There was about 40 residents, and they were singing and clapping with us, and what a nice facility. It really, truly is. And as we were talking before the show, county home is one of those things you have to think in the broader sense, is what is important to us in Chautauqua County, and what are those things that we're willing to pay for? Karen has some really good insights into the cost, and she's going to talk about that here in a minute. Only thing that I want to add to my little topic today is that I learned through the minutes of all the meetings that they're having right now, is that this whole issue is going to come to the legislature. Greg Edwards is doing his due diligence as the leader of the county to bring issues to all of to us in the paper and so forth for consideration, but it's the legislature that's going to make the final decision on all this. So if you have a concern, call in here at the show, let us know what you think, and or call your county legislator and let them know what you think. Reed, want to introduce our guest.
Okay, fine. Karen Harvey is a noted journalist. She and her husband Roy have been doing photojournalism for many, many long years. Now it's video. And she has some insight that she'd like to share with us and asked to have a little time to talk about it. So here you go. You're on. Karen?
Well, I'm holding the county budget here, and I encourage everyone to look at it for themselves. When I was in the news media, that was my profession over the years, I noted that in every city I lived in, what we're showing here is that the percentage, let me go back, when I worked in the media, we did not accept the spin from any mayor, any governor, any executive. We went to the source. That is lesson number 101 of journalism is you go to the source and you look. This county budget right now shows that taxpayers in Chautauqua County, the local share of the tax levy is 0 for the county home. Let me say that again.